A man in a suit knocked on my door and handed me an envelope. You've been served. Divorce papers. Petition for dissolution of marriage. My name is the respondent. I'm not married. The process server shrugged. That's between you and your wife. I read the documents. Petitioner, Samantha Reyes Chen. She was requesting the house, both cars, 50% of retirement, and $1,800 a month in spousal support. I'd never been married. I'd never heard of Samantha Reyes. My hands started shaking. My chest tightened. I drove to the courthouse. The clerk pulled up my records. Marriage certificate. My signature. A woman I'd never seen smiling next to me in the photo. That's not me, I said. I have a cleft chin. That man doesn't. The clerk looked closer. She was right. Someone had used my identity to get married. Detective Huang met me at the police station. She spread documents across the table. Joint bank accounts, a mortgage, car loans, $600,000 in debt, all in my name. Someone built an entire fake identity using your information, she said. The divorce petition was filed by a lawyer named Richard Torres. His client, Samantha, claims you're abusive. If the divorce goes through uncontested, she gets everything, I realized. That's the scheme. She's probably done this before. Huang wanted to track Samantha down, arrest her at her apartment, but I had a better idea. Let me handle this, I said. I want to meet my wife. The next day, I called Richard Torres's office. This is Michael Chen. I got the divorce papers. Torres sounded nervous. Mr. Chen, my client has requested no direct contact. Tell her I'm not going to fight it. I just want to talk. One conversation. Then I'll sign whatever she wants. Long pause. I'll relay the message. 2 hours later, Torres called back. She'll meet you tomorrow. Neutral location. Coffee shop on 5th Street. Perfect. That night, I worked with Detective Huang. We set up surveillance at the coffee shop. Plain clothes officers at nearby tables. Recording equipment in my jacket. I arrived at noon. Sat in a corner booth. Waited. She walked in at 12:15. Blonde. Mid-30s. Designer clothes. Confident smile. My wife. She slid into the booth across from me. Michael, thank you for being reasonable about this. I just want to understand, I said calmly. How long were we married? 2 years. She didn't blink. You don't remember. I remember being single, living alone, not having $600,000 in debt. Her smile flickered. Michael, I know the divorce is hard. What's my birthday? She paused. What? My birthday. If we were married for 2 years, you'd know it. Her eyes darted toward the door. How about my middle name? My mother's name? The city where I grew up? She started to stand. I grabbed her wrist. Your name isn't Samantha Reyes, I said. It's Victoria Marsh. You've done this 22 times across 12 states. $4 million stolen. Her face went white. Detective Huang traced your apartment last night. Found files on dozens of victims. Fake IDs. Forged signatures. A printer still warm. The plainclothes officers stood up from nearby tables. Victoria tried to pull away. This is entrapment. You can't. I didn't entrap you, I said. I just asked to meet my wife. You're the one who showed up pretending to be someone you're not. Detective Huang approached the table. Victoria Marsh, you're under arrest for identity theft, fraud, and conspiracy. They cuffed her right there in the coffee shop. Every customer watching. Phones out, recording. Victoria thrashed against the officers. You have no idea what you've done. I had everything planned. You picked the wrong mark, I said. I'm a forensic accountant. I traced your scheme in 48 hours. They dragged her toward the door. Wait, I called out. Victoria turned, mascara already running. I pulled out the divorce papers and held them up. You wanted me to sign these? I said. $1,800 a month in spousal support, half my retirement, the house, the cars. I tore the papers in half, then quarters. Let the pieces fall to the floor. Here's my counteroffer. 22 years in prison, 1 for each victim. The officers pushed her through the door. Huang walked over. That was satisfying to watch. I looked at the torn papers on the floor. She spent 2 years building a fake marriage, I said. I ended it in 2 minutes. Huang almost smiled. Fastest divorce in county history. I stood up and straightened my jacket. Send the paperwork to her lawyer. I'm sure he'll want to know his client just got arrested.